Namaste friends and hello, welcome to my channel The New Age of Study Rankers. Myself Vidhushan Patra, and today I will teach you the second part of the first lesson of mathematics, that is real numbers, and the second part is the revisiting of irrational numbers. So in the first part we had learned about the fundamental theorem of arithmetics. Hope it would be helpful for you. Now let us come to the our second part, and the topic is revisiting irrational number. So at first a question arises, what is irrational number or what are irrational numbers? So simple definition, or we are familiar to this, that those numbers which are non-terminating and non-repeating are known as irrational numbers. Simple. Those numbers which are non-terminating and non-repeating. What does non-terminating tells us? Non-terminating means never ending, or it is continuing to infinite, and non-repeating, never repeating. If I come to some examples, you will be thorough about that. That is, some examples, look at this: 0.10, 100, 100, and 1 infinite. So what does this number tells? Here you can see, here 1 0, again 1 but 00, again 1 but 000. So here 0 is non-repeating. We can see here it is used single zero, double zero, triple zero, four zeros, fifth zeros. It will continue to infinity. And what comes about infinity? It tells about that there it is a non-terminating number. So this is an irrational number. Now some other examples like this. This is root 2. What is the value of root 2? It will be infinite. 1.414 it will continue to infinite. Similarly, root 3, and also not only those who have not perfect square are irrational number, but also those which are not perfect cube can also be irrational number. Like this, look at this, cube root of 5. So this its value is also an irrational number. Now look at this. Look at this. This is what? Pi. What does it tells us? We already know that the value of pi is 22/7. It is in the mensuration part, but in this part, the value of pi is given as an irrational number. Why? Because the value of pi is, if we divide 22/7, it will go to 3.14 something. But here a question arises: how can be pi an irrational number if it can be written in the form, in a fractional form? Because rational numbers, only rational numbers can be written in fractional form. How can an irrational number be written in the fractional form? So the answer is very simple. It can be written in the fractional form to its approximate form, because 3.14 something to infinity can be taken as the approximate form of pi, that is 22/7. Clear? Now come to the another question here. Now in this book it has been given to prove us that, to show that how we can show root 2 is an irrational or any imperfect square. How it is irrational, we have to prove that. So let us take an example that is given in the book. How to prove root 2 is irrational. So let us solve this. At first we have to assume that. What should we assume? Let root 2 be a rational number. Let root 2 be a rational number. Why? Because it is given us to prove that root 2 is irrational, but we don't know that it is irrational, so we have to take it as a rational number, as assumption. This is known as assumption, which we assume or which does not exist really. let root 2 be a rational number. And you know a rational number, how it is formed? It is in the form of P by Q. Yes, it is in the form of P by Q. All rational numbers can be written in the form of P by Q, where Q is not or till never equal to 0, and P and Q belong to the integers, and P and Q are co-primes. That is the simplest form of rational number. So the P and Q are co-primes. So here we have to write that Q not equal to 0, P and Q belong to integers, and P and Q are co-primes. What do you mean by co-primes? We have already learned that in class 4-5. So I am telling co-primes are those numbers which have 1 as the common factor, only 1 as the common factor. They are known as co-primes. Here P and Q are co-primes because P and Q have 1 as the only factor. So we assumed this is the assumption. Now what we have now? Root 2 is an root 2 is a rational number in the form P by Q. Now I can write root 2 P by Q, where Q not equal to 0. Now here root 2, if I square both the sides, by squaring both the sides, what do I get? In the next step I get root 2 whole square is 2, and P by Q whole square is P square by Q square. Then if I take Q square to my left hand side, here it is divided. After taking to my left hand side, it will be multiplied to 2. So 2Q square equal to P square. Mark it as equation I. Now here you see 2Q square equal to P square means 2 is a factor of P square, or I can write it in the form 2 into Q square equal to P square. So 2 and Q square are factors of P square. I can write P square upon 2, because P square is divisible by 2. As 2 is a factor of P square, then P square is divisible by 2. If the square of a number is divisible by a number, then the number is also divisible by that number. If P square is divisible by 2, then P is also divisible by 2, P upon 2. Here you see. Now I erase this. If you have noted this, I am erasing this. Now again we have to take an assumption that let P, we had taken P by Q, I am taking the P, be 2R. We knew the value of P. Here I write P is equal to 2R. In the previous method step, we had the value of that I had taken equation I. We had taken the value of P square as 2Q square. Now here it is P, so we have to square both the sides. By squaring both the sides, what do we get? In the next step, P square equal to 4R square. Now P square had the same value as 2Q square in the previous step, so I can write P square equal to 2Q square equal to 4R square, as P square equal to 2Q square. Now 2 4 2, Q square equal to 2R square. Here also, as the previous method, this method also gives 2 and R square as the factors of Q square. So I can write Q square upon 2, that is Q square is divisible by 2, and If q square is divisible by 2, then q is also divisible by 2, q upon 2. In the previous step, I had got p is divisible by 2. Now I get q is divisible by 2. Now from that and this, what we have now? Let me write here. We have now p and q have 2 as common factor, contradicting our assumption. How? Let us know how it contradicts our assumption. So remember, what was our assumption? This was our assumption that let root 2 be a rational number in the form of p by q, where q not equal to 0 and p and q belong to integers and p and q are co-primes. Mark this point. What this point tells us? P and q are co-primes, means p and q have only one as common factor. But what we have got? We have got 2 as a common factor of p and q. So this contradicts our assumption. If this contradicts p and q as co-primes, then p by q is never rational number. P and q cannot be a rational number. So we have taken root 2 as a rational number in the form p by q. If p by q is not rational, then root 2 is not rational. So we have got that root 2 is irrational. We have got root 2 is irrational. Proved. So this was all about our second part of the first chapter, that is revisiting irrational number. So friends, in my next video I will send the part 3 of the first lesson, that is revisiting rational numbers and decimal expansions, etc. So this was today. So thank you. Please like, share, comment and subscribe my video because this inspires me more. Thank you. Goodbye.